Hi, I'm Leonard and I'm Chief Product Officer at peaq. Today I'm going to introduce you to our peaq access control. peaq access control is a blockchain-based permission and access control platform. It makes it possible that all the different access control systems and permission rights of entire organizations get managed and monitored via one system. Multiple systems such as entrance, vehicle, network or device access systems can be integrated with peaq access control, allowing the organization to manage all kinds of access systems and their respective access rights in one place. Thus, users get assigned and revoked access rights based on their role across the entire organization. Using non-personalized, immutable blockchain transactions to execute access actions and manage access rights, peaq access control vastly improves security, transparency and privacy protection while being fully GDPR compliant. So let's get started. Here's an overview of the peaq access control platform. On one side of the platform we have provider registrars and on the other access controllers. Provider registrars are manufacturers of products and services that require management of access rights. These can be either physical, like office doors or vehicles, or digital, like networks and databases. On the other side, we have access controllers. These are organizations who have purchased products or services from the provider registrars and now want to manage the access rights via peaq access control. An example of a provider registrar could be an automotive company or also a smart dollar company. An example of an access controller could be a large accounting firm which has multiple large offices with many access points and multiple networks. They need to manage access rights across the entire organization using multiple provider registrar systems. As part of our demonstration, let's imagine that a large tech company, let's call this company Big Tech Limited, is expanding and has hired 100 people for their Berlin office. Big Tech Limited has bought 100 new cars from an automotive company and 30 smart door locks from a smart door lock company. Big Tech Limited wants to use peaq access control to manage permission and access rights of both the cars and the smart door locks from one place. Let's run through the whole process of what this would look like. To begin with, we will take the role of the automotive company as a provider registrar. Let's start by adding the electric vehicles Big Tech Limited has ordered from the automotive company using peaq access control. Going to add the electric vehicle, give it a serial number and add the device. And now we are going to have a look on what happened on the peaq blockchain. And as we can see, there is a transaction which successfully executed the creation of the electric vehicle on the peaq blockchain. Here I want to talk a bit about the benefits of that. The benefits are that by shifting access rights to the blockchain, each action, update and record is stored on an immutable ledger, leaving no room for hidden actions or unauthorized changes, which makes monitoring of all access control management actions fully transparent and reliable. And as a next step, we're going to add Big Tech Limited as a customer of ours. Ours meaning from the perspective of the automotive company. Adding the name and as a third step the email address and having Big Tech Limited registered as our customer. And now as a final step we're going to grant the access control rights of the electric vehicle from the automotive company, us, to Big Tech Limited. Granting access rights and having a look again on what happened on the peaq blockchain. As we can see, another transaction got successfully executed which transferred the access control rights of the electric vehicle from the automotive company to peaq Limited. Now we are going to repeat the same process we've done with the automotive company just as a smart door lock company, where we're going to register a smart door lock and transfer the access control rights of this smart door lock to peaq Limited, just as we've done it with the electric vehicle before. Now we will switch over to the access controller side of the platform and demonstrate what the process would look like for the customer peaq Limited. Here I can see the electric vehicle and smart door lock whose access control rights were just transferred to us by the automotive company and the smart door lock company. peaq Limited can now control the access rights to their new fleet of cars and their new door locks, all using one system, peaq Access Control. We'll now add our new team member to the system. We will call the new team member Mike and grant him permission to use one of the electric vehicles peaq Limited just purchased, as well as access to all the doors, gates and entry points he needs for his role. Let's have another look at the peaq blockchain. This transaction here represents the successful creation of a new user. Mike is now on board. As a next step, we are now going to give Mike access to the smart door lock. And back to the peaq blockchain, we can see the transaction to give Mike smart door lock access was successfully executed. We will follow the same process to give Mike access to the electric vehicle as well. And again, as expected, a new transaction on the peaq blockchain was successfully executed, granting the access. Done! Mike's been assigned all accesses he needs to have. Now Mike wants to enter the office. He selects the smart door lock, taps open, and is able to enter the office. Of course, peaq Access Control also makes it possible to revoke access just as easily as it can grant it. Let's say Mike were to leave peaq Limited. Revoking access to everything he's been granted permission to would normally take a lot of manual work and time. With peaq Access Control, all access rights can be revoked with just one click. And we're going to have a look now on the peaq blockchain again and see that Mike's identity on the blockchain got disabled. And we're done with the revoking. As Mike has just left peaq Limited and got successfully revoked, he tries to enter again. And as we can see, the access got denied. To recap, we just demonstrated how organizations can use peaq Access Control to manage all of their access control systems in one place, significantly reducing the time and effort typically required, while making their access control management many times more secure. We also showed how companies looking to sell their access control products can leverage peaq Access Control both as a neutral marketplace and as a means of using blockchain technology to massively enhance their products. In this demo, we focused just on a handful of entities: peaq Limited, an automotive company, and a smart door lock company. In reality, the amount of access controllers and provider registrars that can integrate and use peaq Access Control is unlimited.